Weed of the Week is known by many names and we hear about it all over the country. It is Scouring Rush.
With Scouring Rush, it's probably the weed we get the most questions about at Ag PhD because it's one of the toughest ones to kill. It doesn't have leaves like a normal plant, so how are you going to stick herbicide on there? It's very challenging. And I go back to even when I was a kid, there was a railroad company that was talking to my dad about, well, what herbicide should we use to kill this Scouring Rush? So they tried high rates of atrazine, high rates of Roundup, high rates of 2,4-D. None of that stuff worked. And we were just asking the railroad company too, why do you really care? You're the railroad. So you don't kill a few weeds, it's no big deal. And they said, well, here's the problem. With Scouring Rush, if it gets on the tracks, our train can't stop. The train keeps sliding. Well, that's not a good thing for a train. Well, eventually what they figured out is gramoxone or paraquat would control Scouring Rush.
Well, Scouring Rush a lot of times pops up where it's wet. So if you improve drainage by installing subsurface drainage tile or narrowing up your tile spacings, you can oftentimes get rid of Scouring Rush. We see tillage sometimes being a problem because it ends up getting dragged all over in the field. So you could actually spread the weed problem by doing tillage. So we really like the herbicide solution if at all possible, and then assist that by getting better drainage.
Yeah, the drainage thing I think is important because as a cultural practice, we just want great crop canopy and then that can choke out the Scouring Rush. But just keep in mind, it's a perennial weed, it is hard to control. We don't have any good answer for you in any existing crop other than use gramoxone as a burn down pre or post harvest.
That's all time for this week's Weed, but Iron Talk is coming up next.